Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Sunday Night Countdown, where I'm going to go over the top 11 stocks that I'm going to be looking into for this week and this month. And I'm going to show you guys an exact analysis on how I'm going to be playing into them. And again, I do appreciate a lot of you guys who've been showing me in the comment section as always. Much love to you guys. And if you guys have not subscribed, we do go a lot Monday through Friday on entries and breakouts. And we also go over Sunday Night Countdowns, Breakfast with Bulls yesterday on top 10 popular stocks. We're going over every single technical and every single play that we possibly can, so that way you guys can learn them as well. And again, much love to you guys. God bless you guys. Now let's jump right into this so you guys can see what we're going to be looking at for this week and this month. Now, Rice did have a nice run up. We are going to look at the 4 hour so you guys can see exactly what we're looking at. We did recently IPO, and we did have a nice run up going into Friday, and we actually held up pretty good after hours. Now into the 5 minute here, that you could see that we did have consolidation. We did break out. We consolidated even further, but it looks like we have very little volume. So we are going to be careful on this one. If it does happen to drop down below our resistance here, then we definitely would not want to be in this play around 1643. But however, if we do break above into new highs going into open on Monday, then we could potentially see a nice run up. I more so expect this to break out during pre-market. If it does, we will have a lot of signals based on pre-market on this play. If it does hold up during pre-market and we go into open while it's still holding up, then we could potentially see that breakout going into open. But we do want to see this volume at least confirm where we were previously. If we can't confirm at least above this, then we wouldn't have much of a bullish signal, in my opinion. But essentially, we want to break above our previous volume point that we saw when we first broke out. That would be more of the bullish signal that we're looking for. So Rice will be on the watch. Rice had a ton of volume ending the day as well. So we are going to see if Rice has a nice day trade left in it. But however, like I said, we had consolidation broke out. We saw this multiple times happen with many other stocks like SPCE, for example, a couple of months ago. They had a huge run, and sure enough, it looks like a very similar chart pattern. And I wouldn't count this one out at all, as again, like they have tons of volume and they definitely could run up on some hype, or possibly even because a lot of people believe in this play. Fbio is another play that we're going to be looking into. Now, they did have a nice consolidation. They actually had a nice bounce going into Friday, and they actually ended the day pretty strong. We're going to see if this does break new highs above 578. Now, we do have buy volume that is coming in. We're going to need more buy pressure as well. It looks like overall we do have more sell pressure, even though we do have buy volume that has been coming in. It looks like we are bouncing off of our previous consolidated point where we previously broke out here. So it looks like we might just be bouncing up here and possibly going to get rejected at this consolidated point. So if we could break above 551, that would be my signal on possibly looking into it. And then I would be waiting for it to break above 578 at that point. So again, FBIO will be on the watch. It has been running up. You could see it had huge sell-offs and then recovered, huge sell-offs, and possibly could have another run. So FBIO is going to be on the watch, as they had a ton of volume ending the day on Friday as well. Now, EYES is a sympathy to EARS, as previously EARS was actually the sympathy to EYES. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean by that in a second. But however, you can see on the 5 minute, we had that nice run up. But however, we had that huge sell off, and it looks like we are trying to consolidate here. So hopefully we can consolidate previously where we got rejected multiple times here. So hopefully we can consolidate here and possibly have a nice run up going into Monday. But we are going to definitely be watching ears, which is the next stock and I'm going to go over. But I did mention these on Friday as well. But we are going to see if this could consolidate and possibly break into our consolidated point here. And if we could break above our consolidation here around 916 and break above this, in my opinion, we could see more of a bullish signal. We do need more buy volume as well. It looks like we are getting white shaded lines on the sell volume, therefore showing that we could possibly have a reversal and possibly a nice pop going into Monday. As if ears does get hype on their potential news going into Tuesday, then ears would be following eyes. Eyes would be following ears as well. So ears is what we're going to go into next, so you guys can see what we're looking at here. We are going to see if we could break above this. If we could break above, this is actually 4 hour here. Let's see here. So on the 4 hour, you can see overall that we did have that sell off. We had that huge run going into Friday. It actually closed very strong going into Friday. But however, we are going to see, and I actually mentioned this in Breakfast with Bulls yesterday, that we wanted to at least reach up to around 550. We do have plenty of rejection at this area. We actually got rejected at 550 previously in this chart, and it sold off pretty strong. So there's a huge wall coming up at 550, and then we want to break above our previous highs around 624. So EARS does have a lot of resistance coming in on Monday. So however, if it does break over $5 and hold above it on EARS, and it does start to create higher highs, then I will be day trading this one possibly for a nice 10 to 20% trade. But however, like I said, I am going to be careful on this one as there is plenty of rejection in this area. So if they do get the news going into Tuesday, then they definitely would break above our resistance, in my opinion. But however, I'm not going to be playing into that news. I'm actually only going to be playing into the rumor going into Monday as a possible run up, as we have seen on Friday. So we are going to see if this does continue, as they have a ton of volume that they did actually end with on Friday as well. Now, BCTX is the next play that we are going to look out for, as BCTX is another one. There's not many plays that are reaching new highs, but BCTX sure enough did, just like RICE did. They're breaking new highs and they are getting buy volume coming in, but we are not above our previous sell-off volume that we saw. So we do have a nice extension, but it looks like it could be overextended. We're going to let this one play out, but also we do have on the buy pressure here on the MACD that the white shaded lines are coming in. It shows that we are possibly going to reverse, but then we got a few solid green candles here. We're going to need a break above our previous point here on the MACD. It looks like we are flat so far, or right below it. So if we could break above this, then we could possibly see a nice bullish run. But you can see we are getting rejected, showing that we are below our previous buy pressure point. So we are going to see if this could continue. But BCTX will be on the watch for a day trade, probably going into pre-market more so than market open. So, but however, BCTX did end the day very strongly, and I will be looking at this as a possible continuation going into Monday. Now, I wanted to go over the cannabis sector again, as we went over it yesterday on our Breakfast of Bulls. TLRY has been on a sell-off. It looks like we are trying to test our previous sell-off point that we saw around 1818. We are going to see if we could hold above 1818. But however, about 10 days ago, or about a week and a half ago to 2 weeks ago, Chromo actually mentioned that they are going to possibly pass and legalize marijuana in New York. So if they do actually pass this, then we could possibly see a nice spike going into TLRY. So essentially, with that news coming in soon, if you believe the news will come soon, you could play the news and buy in and have a very short stop loss at 1818. But however, that's not my type of play. I personally would rather wait for the news, get a buy signal at 2162, as this is our new resistance that we're going to try to break out of. And if it does break over 2162, I will have an alert and a buy trigger set for that price. Because if the news does come out, in my opinion, it will give us a nice day trade at 2162. Going into probably around $28, in my opinion, on a nice 40 to maybe 100% play if we do get more FOMO with more people buying into this stock. So TLRY SNDL, I'm going to go over real quick as well, as it's a sympathy play. It's another cannabis play as well. You can see the stock almost looks exactly the same, but however, it looks like we are testing our previous lows here and possibly going to sell off. But we did get rejected on the sell off here, probably because we're going into this potential news going into this week. So SNDL as well, we will have an alert set at our previous consolidated point where we were around 141. So essentially, in my opinion, we need to break over 141 for a nice day trade. But however, SNDL is very volatile. So if it does break over 141, I will have a buy trigger set for that as well. Only if TLRY does break out of that resistance that we were looking at as well at, what was it at? What was the resistance that we just looked at here? 2164, 2162 here. So again, if it does break over 2162, I will go over to SNDL as a sympathy play and day trade that one as well. Now, CAN, I wanted to go over the Bitcoin sector as well. Yesterday, Bitcoin reached almost about 61,000. That is on Saturday, and they could potentially have a nice run up. Now, we're going to look at each one of these Bitcoin stocks as a potential breakout. Now, we do want to break above 23.90, in my opinion, break into 24. If we could break into $24 and Bitcoin could go over 60,000, in my opinion, we could see a nice day trade and a nice swing trade into CAN. But however, I do like the Bitcoin stocks overall as a long play. I just would rather have confirmation while Bitcoin is around 60,000 and even breaking above our previous highs around 61,000. We do want to at least break into 62,000 overall in Bitcoin. But if you're trying to get in early, in my opinion, if it does break above 23.90 and above $24 in, and Bitcoin is around 60,000, then we could potentially see a nice bullish run on CAN. Now, the next one I go over is EBON. EBON was one of the worst sell-offs recently. A lot of people I know were in this play, and it's obviously unfortunate, but it looks like we are trying to consolidate at our previous consolidated point, and we are trying to sit around this area. So in my opinion, if Bitcoin is around 60,000 or possibly even 62,000, then we could potentially see a nice bounce from here and probably see EBON bounce to its previous consolidated point, at least to around $10 here on a nice bounce play. Now, that would be a nice 80% play on this, but I do not believe, based on the sell-off that we had recently, that even if Bitcoin did break new highs, that we would break into new highs. As we saw, EBON did not break new highs when Bitcoin did break into new highs as well. So we're definitely going to keep this one on watch. EBON is very volatile, and that's why I'm going to keep this one on watch while Bitcoin does break into new highs as well. Now, Riot is another Bitcoin play. You can almost see that most of these charts are very similar, just some of them are stronger than the others. Now, Riot is one of the best ones in my opinion. We are in consolidation on our previous consolidated point, and we're going to try to break out of our resistance here around 63.87. And we're going to wait for that volume confirmation as well, but also wait for Bitcoin to at least sit around 60,000 and break over 62,000. Now, the reason why I say keep these ones on watch is because Bitcoin has not reached around 60,000 in quite a while, and it did hit it yesterday. And you can see that our government has been using a lot of money recently. So I definitely would keep these Bitcoin stocks on the watch, as in my opinion, they are due for a run up. I think Bitcoin will sit over 100,000 at some point, not sometime soon maybe, but I do believe that it will be within a blink of an eye when we at least expect it. So I am long on Bitcoin. So a lot of these plays that I'm mentioning, I didn't exactly trade these. I do day trade them, but I don't trade them as swing trades as much as I do hold them very long, or I do quick day trades on these on technicals. But other than that, I don't exactly like to swing them, as you might as well hold it long in my opinion. This is not a recommendation. This is what I do. And the last one I'm gonna go over is MARA. Very similar play, except they actually created newer highs. Now, MARA, in my opinion, is the strongest of them all that we have mentioned so far. So they have been consolidating recently. It looks like we are creating new highs. We could potentially see that breakout. Now, if we don't want to see a sell-off here, in my opinion, since we do have less volume than we saw previously, then we want to see a possible breakout on Bitcoin, like I said, around 62,000. If we do not, then we could see MARA at least come down and test our previous consolidated point around 37, 36 and bounce around this area. If Bitcoin does not break over 62,000 by then we could potentially see another retest around its previous breakout point around $24, where we did test actually on a sell-off recently. So MARA, Riot, EBON, CAN, BTBT as well on the watch for sure. I'll go over BTBT real quick for you guys. See what we're looking at here. Very similar play. BTBT actually had a nice little run up in the last couple of days, I noticed. And I wish I caught this bounce play too, because that was kind of a easy bounce play to catch. So essentially what actually happened here is this stock came down to its previous breakout point, and then it bounced right off of it. And it could have been a nice play if I was actually paying attention to it, but I was not. So we're going to see if this one does break above our resistance here around 1856. If we could break over 1856 and we could get more volume coming in. Again, this was a bounce play. And the reason why I called it a bounce play is because we have still very little volume, not breaking out of previous volume points, but however, bouncing off of a key resistance. So we could see a retest around 1331 until we see Bitcoin at least hit around 62,000. So the indicator for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is if we could break over 62,000. That is a very strong move for all these Bitcoin stocks, and we will have them on watch going into this month because, like I said, I do think Bitcoin is due for a run-up. And again, I hope you guys have been enjoying our Sunday night countdown. Yesterday was our Breakfast with Bulls on top 10 popular stocks on our chart analysis on that. So if you guys want to see more charts and understand exactly what we're looking at and these indicators on the MACD, RSI, divergence, things like this, they're in all of our videos that I have been mentioning. And again, if you guys have a watch list, throw in the comment section. Anything on your mind, throw in the comment section. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.